Welcome back and thank you for joining us. Now we move straight ahead to our interactive segment, which is the phone-in segment. It's time for you to call in and share your thoughts and also send in your WhatsApp messages. The numbers will be displayed on your screen. Now it's time for us to discuss a very big issues on the table and get your thoughts on it. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu recently made a bold declaration on the global stage in Brazil. Nigeria now has more money, no more corruption. According to him, the tough reforms introduced in the last 2 years, including the removal of fuel subsidies and the liberalization of the foreign exchange market, have curbed corruption, boosted government revenues, and stabilized the economy. Indeed, the subsidy regime, which cost Nigeria an estimated 10 billion naira annually, was long criticized for being riddled with fraud and benefiting only a few elites. The multiple exchange rate system also created arbitrage opportunities that drained billions of dollars from the economy. Since these reforms, revenues have surged, with the Federation Account Allocation Committee disbursing over 12 trillion naira between January and July 2024, nearly 80% of all federally generated revenue. Inflation has eased slightly, falling to 21.88% in July, and the naira, is showing some signs of stability after months of turbulence. But there is another side to this story. Now, independent reports, including from the World Bank, say corruption still costs Nigeria around $18 billion every year, eroding growth, scaring off investors, and deepening inequality. Socially, corruption continues to affect everything from healthcare and education to job opportunities, costing the average Nigerian not just money but also trust in public institutions. And despite the revenue growth, more than 129 million Nigerians now live below the poverty line. The sharp devaluation of the naira has also pushed Nigeria from being Africa's largest economy to the 4th position, with a GDP of just $243 billion after rebasing. So the question today is Nigeria really seeing no more corruption, as the president claims, or are we still paying a heavy price for it as a nation? We'd like to hear from you this morning. Is the Tinubu government truly doing better in fighting corruption, or are Nigerians only feeling the burden of reforms without the promised relief? The phone lines are now open. You can call in and also send in your WhatsApp messages. Join the conversation this morning. We'd love to hear your thoughts and also read out your messages. But before we take your call, let's take a look at this video clip.
The reform that I've embarked upon since I took over in Nigeria has been very impactful. I can beat my chest for that. It was initially painful, but today the result is blossoming. It's getting clearer to the people. We have more money to the economy. No more corruption. We have the governor of Central Bank here. You don't have to know him before you get the foreign exchange that you need. The speculators are out in our currency market. The door is open for businesses. Easy in, easy out.
All right, that's the president. They're saying that there's no more corruption in Nigeria. And when I saw that video on social media, I decided to go through the comment section. And believe me, what I saw, or rather what I read, was mind-blowing. Nigerians are not accepting, this statement. This particular statement from President Bola Tinubu. We have a caller on the line. Good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, Ajia.
Good morning, Adi.
I'm Adi calling from London.
Thank you for calling, Adi. What's your thoughts?
Good morning, Adi.
Good morning, Hauwa. I don't believe that there is no corruption. There is still corruption. And the corruption lies mainly with the civil servants, because they are the one in charge of this money. They are the one corrupting even the ministers. For example, look at the two women who run the affairs ministry for humanitarian. They are still in the FCC. They are still in court for embezzling money. Look at the accountant general that Buhari extended his time, even though the time of Adamu has come from Kano. Over 100 billion was given chieftaincy title. So the civil servants are our problem. There are still corruption there. They are the one who teach the minister. This is how you can take money. So they are, apart from normal police share point you give, those who are not handled are corruption. Those are just looking for money for to cook the soup at home. You understand? Even they don't ask me, I give them. Because I know those ones are working very hard in the sun. But those who sit under air condition, those are the corrupted people. There are still corruption in Nigeria. So I disagree that there is no more corruption. There is corruption. It might not be to the highest level, because the way this president is going about now, looking for betterment for Nigeria, no, people will not realize it now, years later. And that's exactly what Trump is doing in America. Putting tariff on everybody. Say, America, come and start your business here. But everybody is running to America to meet Trump, because it's the most powerful in the world now, as America. The whole world relies on their currency. That's why they are running to him. Then nobody rely on our currency. So we have to run to people who can help Nigeria. That's exactly what this man is doing now. That, okay, come to Nigeria. From Brazil, before you want to come to Nigeria, it takes you 24 hours. You have to travel to other countries. But now we are getting direct flight. That will boost our economy. So what he's doing now is not for the ordinary people. It's for people who can see vision for our children's children. You understand? But the corruption is still existing. But they can still tackle it by providing incentive for those working. And trying, the government should set up like EFCC in every ministry that spy on them and that can report, so that all our money goes. I was telling a country where they stole $2 billion, $5 billion, and that country is still existing. You cannot take even £1,000 here. You cannot steal it. Where will you get it from? Which government will give you? Even £10, they will sack the minister, even for accepting a offer. But in Nigeria, the country is still standing. They found them, so that means we are very rich. God has blessed us with everything we wanted. But because of there is no fear of God, everybody does what he likes. But I don't count those things, those small things as foreign, that you go to custom, you go to immigration, and they say, give me something. Those are not corruption. The heavy one is in the ministry. But with time, this will work fine in my country by the grace of God. God bless Nigeria. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Adi. Nigerians are not
convinced
that there is no corruption. I mean, Nigerians are asking questions. With the subsidy removal, the funds are yet to be untracked. They are asking questions. Where is the money going to? Based on the comments I read under the video that was posted yesterday on X, Nigerians are asking a lot of questions. Some Nigerians are even, of the opinion that, the reason why why this administration is, restructuring the EFCC is for the administration's favor, according to Nigerians. So they are not convinced that corruption does not exist in this administration. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, Maimuna, Bagudu. Good morning, Hauwa.
Good morning, Shatima.
Good morning, Trust. This is Shatima Yakudima calling from Enugu.
Good morning, Shatima. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much.
All right, go ahead with your thoughts.
For me, to alter this statement to say there is no corruption in Nigeria, that statement himself is a corruption. That statement himself is a corruption. How can somebody convince us that there is no corruption in Nigeria? There is corruption in Nigeria more than ever before. This regime by all indications, they are here to confuse Nigerians, not to do the job that we give them mandate for. This is the truth. Because for you to alter this statement before the international community himself is a corruption. Why did I say so? To make a promise for Nigerians, for you to not to fulfill it is a corruption. What is the state of our economy? You should not stop fooling ourselves. We should not, don't stop, look, don't anybody fool us. These indices that they are saying inflation is reducing, himself is a corruption. Because we are feeling the inflation. There is no price of item that did not multiply for more than 10 times. What are you saying? You say there is no corruption. You see, people are suffering. If you are ready to do the job, just come openly and do the job. And if you are not ready to do the job, then we are waiting for the expiration of your time span in office, so that we make a change. But how can you say there is no corruption in Nigeria? And the corruption was deeply inside these political office holders. That the most corrupt people. A civil servant, somebody who was seeking change. Even the national the national minimum wage was not even respected. Civil servants were suffering. Nothing is going on in the country. It's a pity. Today in Nigeria, a director cannot find his car to go to office for 30 days. His salary cannot find his car. How do you think people they will cope? Go to our hospitals. You see corruption, working naked. Go to our schools. When people come out to fight upon their rights, you ask police to fire tear gas on them. You suppress them by force. You use army. What kind of regime are we in? How can somebody will come and tell us that there is no corruption in Nigeria? After people are stealing billions. You see, people are stealing billions. Without corruption, a president is spending 12.9 million for just she said humanitarian donation. 12.9 billion. Is it not corruption? You give somebody 153 million for just that 90 minutes game. Just we have to face the reality. See, our pensioners are dying. You give somebody for 8,000 naira in a month for a pension. There is no money in the pension company. Government have borrowed money from pension company. You say there is no corruption. You see, we just have to face the reality. But thank God, we are seeing day by day. 2027 is just around the corner, and anybody will face his consequences. We are going to give prize to anyone. Someone who did good, we are going to return him back, and somebody who did bad, we are going to force him out by power of vote. But our prayer is, may Allah change this country to better. That is only our prayers. But we are feeling the pain. This is the reality, and there is corruption everywhere. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Tima, for that. You would look at the country and you would see that the main reason that corruption has a prevalence is due to the fact that there aren't any ramification, there aren't any consequences, severe consequences when it comes to it, and it's from the top to bottom. And as the question continues, right, is there still corruption going on in Nigeria? And we do not only have to look at, the huge amounts that are being embezzled, the huge amounts that are being mismanaged. It comes from the bottom all the way to the top, because at the end of the day, the people that are going to be in those positions are coming from us. All right, let us pick our next caller. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, this is Abasekon calling from Gombe State.
Good morning, Abasekon. Thank you for calling in. What is your take on this?
Sincerely speaking, when we talk about corruption cannot be eradicated. Even in America, anywhere in the whole world, it can be eradicated. But this is the little thing I have to say. A lot of public holders premeditate lies, concoct shame that are made up of lies in order to carry out their perfidious evil design and sow discord among people. Some of us, if by chance we are given office to hold, does worse than what the sitting present office holder does. But sincerely speaking, the administration of Tinubu, I give him 99.5%. Why am I saying this? Because he has a little bit fought corruption to a standstill. I'm beating my heart because he has tried his best. When we look at his predecessor, the former man, the corruption was very rampant from the top to the bottom. I also want to say here that even during IBB, when he was the president, we had Wole Soyinka and Tai Solari. They were critics of IBB. What did he do? He created an office for them. He gave Wole Soyinka an office, Federal Road Safety. And he gave Tai Solari People's Bank. What happened with People's Bank up to today? Is there People's Bank? Federal Road Safety. What happened with Federal Road Safety? Both of them resigned. So don't criticize any sitting government. That is my take. People should not criticize. Because when you criticize, when you come in, you do worse than they are doing. All we need to do is to pray. But they should retrace whatever any person is saying, they should retrace their statement. And pray for this government. Because it is not we that put them, it is God. Any sitting president, it is God. Governor, it is God. So all we need to do is to pray. Now in Gombe, at least I can buy corn for 550. How much do we buy it before? 2,000. Beef, how much? Thank you this morning. God bless you.
On the topic. Well, Hauwa, according to reports, there has been major recoveries and convictions as to why, there's still no corruption in Nigeria. The EFCC has reported recovering nearly $500 billion in a single year and securing over 4,000 criminal convictions. Okay, and then the report also states its strongest performance since inception. In 2024 alone, EFCC recovered 248 billion naira, $105 million, and 753 duplexes. We all had, the issue of the seizure of, those abandoned 753 duplexes. And then also ICPC reclaimed 29.7 billion naira and $966,000. Now, this figures, they say, underscores intensified efforts in asset recovery and law enforcement. So when you see this report, there's a little bit of hope that, Nigeria is actually fighting corruption. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Wabdung Ahmed from Plateau State.
Good morning, Wabdung. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. How are you?
We're fine, thank you. All right, go ahead with your thoughts.
Anybody that can say that Nigeria has not any corruption, honestly speaking, that guy is a chief. We better tell the reality to ourselves. Tinubu tried, Tinubu doesn't try, because what he has earned through the subsidy is not supposed to be in that way. You that are sitting over there, you are just I'm counting you people under. You are corrupted, you too, because you don't negotiate everything. You will not push to advise government to do what people are outcome of people that they are bringing it. Because what? Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Hello.
You are very audible. Go ahead. We can hear you.
I think there's a network issue
yes.
from his own end. Do well to call us back so we can be able to, hear your thoughts.
All right, Maimuna,
this morning.
Maimuna, you made, you told us the statistics of the amount that's been recovered by EFCC, ICPC, and all of that, the properties and all that's been involved in corruption. But then the thing is, yes, that is an effort, and that is a lot when doing that. But at the end of the day, when a statement is being made and said there is no more corruption, fine and good. All those that have done that are gone after, but at this particular moment, has it stopped? Are we going to hear another story when it comes to 2027 and all the skeletons are being brought out of the closet? But then what do we do? Let's hear our next caller. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, good morning. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Mr. Chris. I'm calling from Cross River.
All right, thank you for joining us. What is your take on this issue?
Yeah, the little I want to contribute is what brought us to the present condition we are in this country is corruption. And if anybody comes up to tell us that there is no corruption in this country any longer, we are waiting to begin to see the changes. We know corruption brought us to this. For us to be able to, go with that claim that there is no corruption again, let us see how long it will take before we start getting out of this situation. Corruption brought us here. If there is no corruption, we expect a better living condition. I think that is what I have to say. I don't want to argue whether there is corruption or not. Let us see. Since there is no corruption, let us see an improvement in the living standard of the people all around, and then we begin to know that corruption has actually stopped. But when we are still in the same milky water of bad economy and all of that, no standard of living, saying there is no corruption, is telling a guy that you are fed when you feel hungry. Thank you very much, Uncle.
All right, thank you very much for that. Maimuna, you know that when it comes to, the synergy of having to be able to implement a lot of things when it comes to Nigeria, the reforms, being done, the policies being implemented, it takes a lot of time, and for Nigerians, we need to understand that it took a long time before we got to where we are, and we have to resolve and accept that it will take a longer time for us to get out of that rut, to get out of that hole that's been dug over the years. Yeah,
there's still hope because according to the International Corruption Perception Index, Nigeria has improved from 154, that's in 2023, to 140 in 2025. So I beg your pardon, in 2024, with its score rising from 25 to 26 out of 100, meaning that there's hope. Hauwa. So let's take our messages this morning. This message is coming from, there's no name, so I'll just jump right in. It says, Tinubu's government is doing better on paper, but not yet in people's lives. Why I say so? Economy, better on paper. He removed fuel subsidy and unified exchange rates. These reforms have made Nigerians' economy look stronger internally. Foreign reserves went up, government revenue increased, and investors have more confidence. Everyday life, bad in reality. Prices of food, transport and fuel have shot up. Inflation is still very high and many Nigerians say they are struggling more now than before. Security, mixed. The military has recovered some successes against bandits and terrorists, but insecurity is still widespread, especially in the north. Corruption. The EFCC has been more active with arrests and convictions, but people still feel corruption at high levels of government has not really changed. My verdict. Tinubu's government is taking tough steps that might help the economy in the long run, but for now, the average Nigerian is not yet feeling the benefit. Instead, life is harder. In summary, I would say Tinubu's government is doing better on paper, but not in people's lives. Economic reforms like subsidy removal boosted government revenue and investor confidence, but they also increased inflation and hardship. Security and anti-corruption efforts show some progress, yet ordinary Nigerians still struggle daily. Thank you for sending in your message, even though there's no name and where you're sending it from.
All right, next up is Nandi Bete from Okoja. They said on this no corruption claim, it appears corruption in Nigeria has become a subjective phenomenon. Certainly the one the president says he has eradicated in 2 years cannot be the same corruption that is still ravaging Nigeria. How do we, for instance, call a situation where an outrageous sum of 39 billion naira was recently used in renovating a public building that was erected in 1991 at the cost of just 240 million naira? Leadership should strive to be truthful in their utterances, especially at international floors, else they end up making a laughing stock of Nigeria. All right, thank you very much, Nandi Bete, for that.
All right, then we have another message. It says, good morning, presenter. The statement made by Mr. President that he has ended corruption in Nigeria is total lies. He should list critical achievements concerning the fight against corruption instead of sitting in another country and making untruthful statements. Thank you for sending in your message. But please, while sending in your messages, kindly state your name and where you're sending your message from. Thank you.
All right, next up we have a message from Ibrahim Abdulhamid, and he says the president is only trying to market Nigeria to Brazil, but we in Nigeria know the truth. Corruption is very much with us at all levels and in all sectors. The revenue he claimed the country is getting is not impacting the lives of the people. I pray for sincerely this for our country. All right, thank you very much, Ibrahim, for your message. All right, that is all we have for this segment.